How to make bait for carp fishing. There's many ways to do it, but this is how I was taught and how I like to do it. I start with 2 Ziploc bags, 2 containers of quick oats, 2 cans of corn, and then 2 containers of vanilla extract. Now it doesn't really matter what type of brand for all of those ingredients. And for the vanilla extract and the oatmeal, you might not use all of it, but I like to have extra. If I'm only fishing for a couple of hours, I tend to just mix up 1 bag. But on this day I plan to fish for several hours, and I do the 2 separate bags because it helps me keep my portions correct. So you're going to start by opening up your Ziploc bag and pouring in about half to 3/4 of your quick oats. You can do more or less depending on how much bait you anticipate using. And don't worry about exact portions because you can always add more oats and or other ingredients later. And then once you've got that poured in, go ahead and close up your oatmeal and set it to the side. And then grab your can of corn. Some cans of corn will have this pop lid like this. Others you'll need a can opener for. It just depends on which corn you buy. But just any brand of basic corn and pour the whole can in. We're going to use all the juice from that corn to help soften up the oatmeal mix. And then you're going to go ahead and open up your vanilla extract. Any type of vanilla extract works. It doesn't matter the brand, doesn't matter if it has caramel or any other mixtures in it. In fact, the sweeter the better. This is all just what I found at the store near my house. And it really depends on the portion size, but you're probably not going to use all of the vanilla extract. Since you have the juice from the corn, if you use all of the vanilla extract in this size bag, it'll be way too moist. So for this size bag, I did a little under half. It also depends on the size of the vanilla extract bottle. But then you're just going to close up your Ziploc bag and mix it up as much as you can back and forth, trying to get all of it coated. And you can kind of see some of the moisture on the inside of the bag from the outside. And that's how I started to suspect that it might be a little too moist, because you want the oatmeal mixture to be moist enough to form a ball, but not too moist to where it's super sticky and won't come off of your hands. So if you can see the moisture from the outside of the bag, go ahead and reach your hand in and feel. As I said, this is not going to work. So like I said earlier, you can easily add more ingredients, so I pour more oatmeal in to get it drier. And I like to go little by little because then if you make it too dry, then you have to add more vanilla extract or more water. But just mess around with the portions and see what works for you. It also depends on the size container and size portions you're making. But once that's poured in, you go and shake it up. And you can see from the outside of the bag that the moisture levels have dropped a lot and it looks a lot drier. So then I put my hand in to check and I can tell that I can form a ball, but it's not too dry where it's crumbling and it's not too moist where it won't come off of my hands. I even reach in to kind of mix it around a little bit more just to be sure. And this really just takes trial and error. That's why it's best to always have extra ingredients on hand, especially when you're out fishing, so that way you can make adjustments on the fly. I myself have only been carp fishing for a few months, so sometimes I get it perfect on the first try. Other times I have to really add ingredients and mess with it trial and error style just to get it down. But once you've got it right, you're good to go. Follow the same steps for the second bag. Shout out to Slob Catching for teaching me how to make this. What's your favorite carp bait?